Hello and welcome back to the first game of StarLadder Season 8, Day 8, and it's the first of 5. We're gonna see Flipside Tactics, and they will be going up against VirtusPro. Of course, I'm not alone. Tonight, I am joined once again by Kanaz. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
So, just to give a rundown, because VirtusPro, they had a bit of a rough start, but at least they were able to win 2 games, I believe, yesterday. And right now they have got 5 games played, 2 games won, 3 games lost. So they're sitting on 6 points, but are already in a very tricky position if they still want to make it to the playoffs. Like, the max amount of losses you can have is about 4. And you have to take into account that VirtusPro haven't faced Na'Vi yet. I believe they haven't faced Alliance. Oh, they did face Alliance, so that's at least something. But, you know, that's something that you have to take into account if you are indeed imagining that you can only have about 4 losses. On the side of flip side, though, I mean, they're even worse. They're in worse shape than VirtusPro. They've played 4 games, and all 4 games they have managed to lose. And this game, they have chosen to try and take a win with a second pick, Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things going on in this draft. We see the early pullback sort of making its way into the minds of the players, getting picked up really early, and Shadow Shaman, a hero we see basically never at this point, getting picked up very early by Flipside Tactics. So I have to see where they're going with the Shadow Shaman pickup. It kind of brings to mind some sort of pushing strategy, since that's where he feels most at home.
Yeah, it seems, by the way, I mean, I can hear you just fine, but you have got a bit of not static at the background, because I believe it's in the internet connection, or the connection to Mumble. It seems like it's a bit sometimes edging on the rope. You're right, Shadow Shaman picked up this early on. Normally we see him ignored, and then you can still pick him up a last pick, because nobody's going to expect that to come out, but very early Shadow Shaman. And I really like the Bristleback pickup from VirtusPro, I have to say. I like that hero if he gets played right, and I believe VirtusPro, with the aggression that they play with, I believe that they definitely can play that right. So I'm hoping for a lot of aggression from them, and in turn I hope that that's going to be an aggressive trial lane Bristleback.
Reserve time.
Yeah, I think it's the most common way we could see Bristleback run. He could be in a defensive trial lane too, but he's definitely one of those heroes you want to bring the aggression with.
Yeah. We have got Elder Titan, Pugna, Venomancer, Mirana banned out. No real surprise bans. Timbersaw ignored. We saw that a couple of times in the previous games as well. Of course, those were Eastern games, so that's a bit of a change of scenery there. I understand the Mirana first ban. It's a shame. We've seen Light of Heaven trying the hero out a couple of times yesterday, and even though they were able to win with it, it wasn't as convincing as you normally want a Mirana to be, the arrows that is. But strong ban regardless, because they did play it twice yesterday and, you know, won with it. Nature's Prophet banned, as well as the Puck and the Doom. Interesting Doom ban. What kind of hero would you like to see together with the Bristleback and the Crystal Main? Because I'm actually thinking about a Visage who's still in the pool.
Visage is definitely a support that can go aggressive with them. If they want, they could pick up something more like a little defensive as well to pair up with it. If they like, Earthshaker can be a pretty decent one for some longer range initiation, just so that they can get in close. They're actually going with a Ben, so that works as well. He just pairs up in a way that lets them kind of disengage if they get in over their heads. Both shield and the mist coil, pretty useful for that.
Yep, very. I mean, Bristleback normally just run at you and start killing you, because, you know, he has his Bristleback and he can always get himself out of situations, and if he then also has a shield, yeah, good luck with that. It does mean that VirtusPro has kind of revealed what they're going to be doing. I mean, this looks to be an aggressive trial lane. If you don't put a Bristleback on an aggressive trial lane, it has been done, but I always feel that it's kind of a waste of potential. We'll see, though. We have got Flipside on the other side. I mean, with that Shadow Shaman, we don't really know what the Shadow Shaman is going to do. I mean, picking it up that early, I'm hoping secretly that it's going to be a solo mid Shadow Shaman, but that's been, you know, that's too old school and that doesn't really work out anymore. But why would you pick, what would your reasons be for picking up a Shadow Shaman this early?
I'm really not sure what their plan is for picking up the Shadow Shaman early. It's maybe just they're going to pick up so many heroes that don't matter the order, that they're willing to pick them up, because no one's going to ban out Shadow Shaman is really what it comes down to. You don't have to pick him early.
That is true. I can't fit him in, and then the Kling's there as well. I'm expecting that to be needing a solo lane. Maybe Clockwork mid. They have so many options right now. Maybe that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to just make VirtusPro guess all kinds of things and hope that they don't come up with the right thing. Just confuse them with their picks. I mean, they have to try something new. Obviously, the previous 4 games they haven't been able to win a single game, so they need something to get their game flow going and get their wins on. And perhaps the Shadow Shaman second pick is the way to do it. Could definitely work out.
Yeah, it's a hero that can work if they want to go like a full-on push strat, but still, I don't know if it needed to be necessarily picked up so early.
Yeah, we'll see. We've got a Chen for the last banner for VirtusPro, who ended up going for a Weaver as their 4th pick. I like the Weaver in terms of, like, I only like the Weaver if he's picked up with a dual core, and that means that Bristleback, like, this has to be an aggressive trialing Bristleback with Weaver safe farming and then pick up the mid last. That is the way that I would like VirtusPro's lineup to be at. If they're gonna obey, of course, that remains to be seen, but they give a lot more away about how they're gonna lane stuff compared to Flipside. Now, it's up to Flipside to reply to that and to know, like, how they're gonna counter that, how they're gonna deal with that. And then do that by picking up an Alchemist, who, again, can be a hero that can fulfill all kinds of roles, so still keeping things open.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what they're going to want to do. We see Alchemist mostly in that support role, but he could be something else if they wanted to. They could run him as a carry. Klink's probably going to be in the solo role, either safe lane or off lane. They might even be able to just like toss them to the off lane and run whatever their tri lane is going to be into the probable aggressive tri lane of VP.
Yeah, I mean, Klink's up against an aggressive tri lane, that's not fun. Maybe you can get some arrows and get some last hits out of there with that still, but it will be very difficult to deal with. Like, if you are gonna be, like, this is not a big David versus Goliath matchup, but it's a definite favorite for VirtusPro to take this one. And if you're gonna know that in advance, you need to have something to surprise your enemies with, and perhaps, you know, their lineup is able to do that, but you also need to be normally at least able to win the laning stage. Because a lot of the more unexperienced teams that are not yet that well synergized, which for Flipside Tactics is indeed the case, they haven't been playing together for all that long, you need to be able to win the lanes. And I have worries that they can do that. I don't know how this is going to be working out. I think there will be a lot of pressure on whichever hero will be the mid player, because that hero is supposed to create space for Klinks to get his farm on, and I'm not sure if he can do that. Klinks is most likely going to be supported by an Alchemist and a Shadow Shaman. They could be roaming those two around. That might be decent, but who are you going to try to kill? Because you won't be able to kill Abaddon or Bristleback. Crystal Maiden might be a good option, but we're going to assume that Abaddon is close by Crystal Maiden, so there's more shields coming, and Weaver is going to go invisible.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy to kill these heroes from VP. Maybe that's the thought going into the Weaver pick, is he's going to be pretty survivable looking with the supports Flipside currently has showing. Unless they really get a surprise Hex, you're never going to really get him with the Unstable Concoction. It's just going to take way too long to actually get to the Weaver.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Vengeful Spirit banned out, so this is the minus armor strat denied, basically. OD, strong mid hero removed from the pool as well. I mean, I'm still expecting Alchemist and Shadow Shaman to be supports. It can, of course, turn around, but it looks like VirtusPro is expecting one of the heroes that is already picked up to be the mid. I mean, of course, secretly, I'm still hoping for Shadow Shaman mid. One can just, you know, hope, but we'll see. 15 seconds left in bonus time for VirtusPro. It's a big, or it's a fairly big difference from the Eastern games that we saw this afternoon. And to now go for the Western teams, as that is a Nyx Assassin probably mid. Yeah. Well, I have to say I'm slightly undecided. What do you think?
Well, we've seen this actually a couple times recently. It seems like most of the time when teams are picking up this Nyx, it's for that middle lane, just to give him some early levels and then roam around. He creates pressure just by missing off the map, and that's pretty big boon to have a hero that can just do that. He doesn't even have to necessarily be stalking anyone. He can just go hide in his woods for all he cares. If their team can't see him, they have to be worried about where he is. And if we have this push strategy that maybe Flipside want to go for, it's a lot riskier if they get someone picked off from behind before they initiate the fight.
Now I like it.
Yeah, this is I think this is a very logical last pick for their middle lane if they're going really all in on the push. And with the Shadow Shaman pick, I don't know what else they could be doing.
Yeah, I have to say they have to be careful with the Nyx Assassin Spike Carapace. That's one thing, but other than that, yeah, I kind of like it. The pushing, I should say, is there. Bristleback can still mess that a bit up, but if Death Prophet has a decent start and rotates at, like, to one of the side lanes and gets themselves a fight in the tower there, then I have good hopes for Flipside. They might be able to turn this into a win, into their first win of the season, of course. And once again, you're watching StarLadder, Star Series, Day 8, Season 8, Game 1 of 5. And VirtusPro, so far 2 wins under their belt, looking for the third.
remaining.
And Flipside has yet to see a win, but they are gonna try to
5
take this
seconds
one.
remaining.
And I like that they're trying something new. I mean, we've seen them going for fairly standard picks with the last 4 games that they had in the series, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but apparently something isn't working. And I like that they done just try something new. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they've been kind of struggling, and it seems like it's mostly a team play issue. They have a lot of very skilled players, but it feels like they're playing around each other, not with each other right now.
Yeah.
So maybe they just need to try out some of these strategies and figure out what is comfortable for them and create that feeling of teamwork, because that's really where they're lacking at the moment, it feels like.
Yeah, and that's also something that VirtusPro has been struggling with lately. If we watched it yesterday, they had some weird initiations where one went in and the other one backed off, and then vice versa, because the one thought that the other one was going in, so went in, but the other one kind of realized that the other one was backing off, so was backing off. It's kind of awkward to watch. But when it works out, it definitely shows, because every single one of these players has got the individual skills. It's just they have to get that synergy working. So yes, I'm excited for this match. Let's take a look at who is playing what, because we do have VirtusPro playing on the Radiant side, as we have a pause coming off from Flipside. So I start with them. Our start will play as Crystal Maiden. We have G on the Nyx Assassin. Very excited to see what he can do with that one. Jottam or Medved will play the Abaddon, while Illidan is playing the Bristleback. And then last but not least... Am I missing someone? Light of Heaven on the Weaver? I already mentioned him, didn't I? No, I didn't. Light of Heaven on the Weaver. There we go. That's everybody.
And on the dire side, we're going to have Flipside Russia. We're going to have Yoki on the Klink's book, on the Shadow Shaman and Light taking up the Clockwork, the stand-in Shisley on the Alchemist, and finally the other stand-in, the Resistance, hasn't
Blow
picked
your
up his
brain.
hero yet.
That's actually Blow Your Brain.
Oh yeah, Blow Your Brain. I forgot he used to use that
He
sometimes.
used to, yeah. I was forgetting that too until it got pointed out to me, I think, 2 days ago or so. Oh, Death Prophet.
Yeah, and he'll be on the last hero, the Death Prophet.
Look
who's,
at how
like,
she looks.
falling. Yeah, it's funny.
It is. Her fingers are quite scary. If you can call that fingers. Awkward. Claws.
Ghost Claws.
Ghost claws. But yeah, that's a Death Prophet. I like this. It is a kind of a hit and miss strat, I feel, because if that Death Prophet falls behind, then they're gonna be a long way from home. But if they can take some early towers, get that early gold up, and therefore of course help that Klinks to get ahead faster, then they'll definitely have a good showing. And it looks like we're gonna see an aggressive trialing coming out from them, and that means Klinks mid up against a Nyx Assassin should be decent. And an aggressive trialing with a Shadow Shaman, a Death Prophet, and an Alchemist. The potential is quite big with the Shackle and holding someone in place for the Unstable Concoction and the burst damage that Blow Your Brain can pump out. The only thing that then leaves to worry is the levels that people would get here, because the Shadow Shaman does need those early levels.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see the Death Prophet ending up in the tri-lane. I figured they would end up tri-laning the
30 seconds
Klinks,
to battle.
honestly, but
Yeah.
I hope it can work out. It gives them some nuke damage. Death Prophet doesn't really hit as hard as Klinks might have, but I guess they're more concerned about Klinks getting the levels, and it's probably a little bit of a better matchup to send Klinks against the Nyx than the Death Prophet.
It looks like we're gonna see a safe lane solo for Bristleback, so he is gonna be alone up against that aggressive tri-lane, though I do believe that those supports will soon rotate to bottom. Jottam and Medved so far will be on top and helping out Light of Heaven, but Light of Heaven doesn't really need help up against the Clockwork. They'll find that out right now. They actually saw the lanes go out, I believe. Did they actually see the supports? Because I think they only might have seen Blow Your Brain, and Blow Your Brain made a movement as if he was going mid.
Yeah, I think they spotted the supports, but Blow Your Brain started heading back towards the mid lane, so they're probably not expecting this Death Prophet down here yet.
Haste Rune for Illidan will soon run out. He does do a nice block though. But same thing goes for flip side. They have the ranged creep to kill off first, and that means that the lane won't push out as much. Well, we'll see how this lane is gonna go. Who would you put it in favor to? Like, would you actually think that flip side is gonna really win this bottom lane? I mean, of course now it's 1 versus 3, though. The supports would probably rotate.
Well, until the supports get down there, it's definitely an advantage for Flipside. But once they move down there, I don't know if necessarily Flipside just win this lane. There's a lot coming out from VP. They can do some pretty good spike damage with their spells. They have the survivability that Ben just provides in general. And I'm not really sure how much I love Shadow Shaman in this situation.
Well, I've made no secret of that I like Shadow Shaman mid. But the reason why we normally either see him either mid, well, we don't normally see him, but if we see him mid or on the safe lane, is that he needs those early levels. And on an aggressive tri lane, it's one of the lanes where as a support you get least levels of all lanes. You can't pull because you're dire. Dire aggressive tri lane doesn't really allow for anybody to pull, so you have to get kills, but then you're up against a Bristleback, who is supported by an Abaddon right now, so good luck trying to kill him, because he'll be having his Bristleback, he'll be having the shield. Will be a difficult thing to take. Hey, my hover buttons thingies work again. Awesome.
Yeah, I just don't know how this tri-lane's going to end up working out for them. I don't feel like they can really kill Bristleback even with it, and they picked it fully knowing what the tri-lane coming out from VP was going to be. Those were VP's first 3 picks.
Yep.
So they must have a plan. I guess maybe just watch each other farm down there and hope that they get enough farm on Clinks and Clockwork to just sort of push really hard.
They already go for a rotation though. Shadow Shaman has rotated top. Might not be able to get any small creeps yet because that one got blocked. But at least he's around there and we'll get some experience there, a lot more than he will get in the bottom lane anyways. In the meantime, G is sitting on 11-0 in the middle lane. Klink's on 13-4, so slightly ahead, and of course the one with the denies. But losing a lot of mana for going for those searing arrows all the time, so forced to bottle crow constantly. Luckily for him, he'll be having a... Whoa, wait a second, sentry ward goes down. Cheesley has the stun, nice cogs, logging all Light of Heaven in. That's gonna be your first blood right there. First blood goes to Enlight with his battery assault. Support rotation successful, I'd say.
Yeah, it worked out. They were able to pick up first blood, and it's on a key hero like Weaver. I'm a little surprised they were able to get that, but you know, good on them.
Yeah, especially since there was a ward here for the Radiant side, so it was just a bit of careless play from Light of Heaven, if you would ask me, but nonetheless, good rotation from Flipside, and they definitely make sure that they at least don't have everything lost there on the bottom lane. And they'll keep the Death Prophet there, and that means that she'll get decent levels. Because she cannot really die. She can get harassed, fair enough, but Bristleback, all she can do is get harassed by the Quill Spray, and she'll be okay with that, because she got a lot of regen, and she got a magic stick, so she'll be fine. Oh, my hover overlay thingy stopped working again. No. Oh, God. For my items, they don't work. For the spells, they do. Awkward. Well.
Yeah, mine's not working for items either.
Oh, good. Then there's at least not a bug on my side. That was what my worry was. But yeah, I mean, I think that the Death Prophet will be okay here on this bottom lane. Now by herself, with all that experience, not gonna die. And I mean, Abaddon is a great support and all that, but he's more great in keeping people safe rather than getting kills. And he will also have Blow Your Brain coming out to try and snipe some experience here from the jungle creeps.
Yeah, I find it pretty interesting that they're not really utilizing the Crystal Main, just... They had him mostly farming in the jungle. He's smoked up now, but Arset's not really finding anything up near that top rune. I think if he had been just down near that bottom lane, they could have probably killed Death Prophet by now. Instead, Blow Your Brain's been able to just kind of farm in lane.
Well, you do have Abaddon rotating back top because he knows he can't do anything on that bottom lane. And we have G with an Invis rune. Looking to make a go at Joki, but Joki has got his... they have a Dust. I think they can take him down. They've got a Frostbite, Impale. There he goes. Where's the Dust? Impale misses, but the Dust still hits. Run! Break! Oh, you can't break your thing. That's a bit sad, but he'll still be fast enough. Well, that was a missed Impale. That kind of cost him the kill.
Well, he had to guess with the Impale, and Yoki was pretty aware that if he just like juked the Impale, he was not getting killed.
But he
there.
didn't see him. He
attacked. Yeah, didn't G attack first?
No, did he? Really? Because that would be
I
stupid.
think he broke the invis.
Oh wow.
maybe not.
I thought that Crystal Main came in view because there was smoke up top.
Yeah. I think you're right. I don't know. Maybe Yoki was just guessing that Nyx was there because Crystal Main wouldn't ever go for that kill by himself.
Ooh, they go for Illidan. The shackle is there. Acid spray for the minus armor. Let's see if they can take him down because it's going to be a very difficult ordeal. But the cogs allow for some time, and that's going to be indeed the kill. Enlight with his second kill of the game. And again, rotation complete. Death Prophet back on top lane. The rotations happening here for Flipside to make sure that they have some kind of advantage is admirable. I think they're doing the right thing here.
Yeah, it's interesting that they sent Blow Your Brain on the Death Prophet up to the top lane now. This isn't really that great of a matchup either. Weaver's already got some levels.
Nyx Assassin coming in with the haste rune. Ooh, a shield. Let's see. A stout shield. Whose stout shield is that? Clockwork?
I would imagine it's Clockworks.
It's quite an expensive item to have laying around there, to be honest. But yeah, that's a wasted rotation of G. We'll be going back middle with his haste rune. But he got spotted. He walked past the rune. He doesn't oh, actually, he did have Vendetta. Goes for it. Oh, never mind. Courier? He will get the courier.
Radiant's middle
Boom.
tower is under attack.
That was a bit miss micro.
Yeah, he like knew he was there too. He had plenty of time to get him away.
That's a double kill for Bristleback. He already took down the Alchemist, now also the Shadow Shaman, hitting like a truck with that level 6 of his. Didn't get Enlight, but that does make the kill score even again. And on a hero that you don't really want to see that happen, to be honest. Bristleback is scary enough as it is.
Yeah, so VP taking a little bit of advantage there. They get 2 more kills. They both go on to the Bristleback, and then cogs.
Perhaps he can get this one as well, but the teleport comes in, the hookshot, Enlight. I think he's gonna die, but he is at least gonna get a return kill with help of the Alchemist coming in. That hit just... Yeah, the warpath is was a bit too much at that point.
Yeah, he started hitting real hard.
Yeah.
It was really nice by Enlight, trying to throw out the stuns as much as possible to try and just like make sure that he stayed alive. He even threw a hook shot at a creep trying to kill it off so that the battery assault was hitting the Bristleback, but just too short on that teleport in from Shizley, or they might have been able to get the kill.
Yep. Well, still, I guess I still got the kill, but now it's 3 kills for the Bristleback, and I guess that was a killing spree gold. Yeah. He got the Clockwork before anything else, so the killing spree gold gets split, but that's a lot of gold going the way of the Alchemist, and a lot of solo experience going the way of the Alchemist as well. He is now level 6. That's pretty decent. We have Geo also with his level 6 rotating top. The ward from the dire side is still there though. They still saw him move there and they know what could be coming. And look at how scared they are. How safe they are, rather. I guess that's better to say that.
Yeah, this is the real benefit of that Nyx Assassin though. Once he hits level 6, if you don't see him on the map, you have to be kind of concerned that he's coming to gank you. Even if he's not really being all that successful with these rotations, he is buying time. And they do have the Weaver farming up in the top lane, Bristleback's farming the bottom, and apparently farming heroes as well.
And like
so
tried to
it's not
teleport
that
out.
bad.
I couldn't make it. Yeah, it's going okay for VirtusPro. That rotation, as you said, it's not successful in terms of kills, but successful in stopping the Death Prophet from farming. She does have her ultimate though. I think like we're maybe likely to see a push fairly soon, although Nyx Assassin comes from the back. He is still on the top lane, and they want to try and take this. I think they can. Impale, Mana Burn first, in comes the Impale. Alchemist is going to be too late with stunning up Light of Heaven, and he now has to run for his life. Maybe Buick can help him out though, but he is so slow, and he thinks he's going to die. He actually picked up the shield of his teammate. That's very friendly of his. Chemical Rage. Chemical Rage is great, especially for a support. That just keeps him up right there. 4 heroes of VirtusPro now on the top lane.
I'm surprised that they didn't go for that kill on Alchemist. The Impale was up on G, and that would have bought time for Frostbite from Crystal Maiden to come out. But I think they might have been worried that someone else was coming and they didn't want to blow both their stuns. And that regen from Chemical Rage is no joke.
No.
So it was a defensive play and very not risky. Oh, another courier kill for G.
Oh, wow. That's him sniped again. Teleports out straight away. What did the courier have? Because I think it was on his way. Yeah, it has. Oh my god, that is big. It had the Hand of Midas in it. I guess the Hand of Midas for the clinks and his bottle. That's insanely huge. No Hand of Midas for 3 extra minutes. And he probably had it complete by the time that the courier was up again. Brilliant timing from G to sit there and gank as well, by the way. All him.
Yeah, he realized that the courier is going to respawn from the last time he killed it. He knew that Klinks hadn't picked up any items, so he just went and camped in between the mid lane tier 1 and tier 2 towers with Vendetta on and just one-shot it. So really heads up play by G there, and hurts Klinks really badly, and he's a key hero for Flipside to have success this game.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, he's not been able to gank successfully all that much. I mean, he's got 1 kill, great, but yeah, those couriers, they win you the game if you can continue that on. I mean, this Klinks is not going to be dangerous by for a while. He's level 9, fair enough, but his farm, I mean, his net worth is pretty decent, but half of that is sitting in his Hand of Midas that's on the courier that he's never going to get. And yeah, that's the highest farmed hero on the map for Flipside. The one second highest for Flipside is Blow Your Brain, who is quite far below the 3rd highest of VirtusPro, as you can see. And G is actually going for him again. He comes up in Vendetta, and that's going to be another pickup there. No hope for him, as he will just get picked up by G. Alchemist, not going to be able to help out. He knew that. What do you suggest at this point? Because Flipside is just getting run over at this moment, and as I say that, Enlight is indeed getting run over by Illidan. Nice hook shot attempt, and that's indeed going to be enough to force Illidan back. Or is it? Why did you come back, Enlight? Those quills hurt him so much. Looks to be enough though. But what do you think? Like, Flipside, what do they need to do? How are they gonna get back into this game?
I'm just not really sure why they haven't grouped up and started trying to take towers yet. Their lineup seems like that's what it wants to be doing, but I guess some of the issues Shadow Shaman's still seeing at level 5, so he doesn't even have those Serpent Wards. They need to get that level 6 up pretty soon and start getting some items, just survivability, I think. Maybe a quick mech on someone like Clockwork, and try and just force these towers, because they're not having success in the farming game.
Not at all. Luckily for they themselves, I mean, VirtusPro, they've got nice kills right now, but they don't really have any pushing potential that high, or at least not as high as Flipside. So they haven't really lost any towers yet either. There's no towers down in the entire game, and that's one thing they can be very happy about. They actually smoke up with Enlight as well as the Alchemist. So looking for a hookshot, looking for a pickoff. I'm not really convinced that they indeed should be trying that on the Bristleback with the Vanguard. Not sure if they have enough damage, but they're gonna try. They've got the Exorcism, they've got the burst damage, but I don't think they can do this. Minus armor, Exorcism, hookshot, hits upon a teammate. Now the cogs, those might be helping out. That's gonna be enough. Yep, should be. The shield helps. Is there more? Is there a heal? No, he goes down. Death Prophet with a kill. Enlight taking a lot of damage from that. He had actually one more. Dota 2 tooltip modifier. Never mind. If he had one more of those quells, then he would have died. But
I think if he'd gotten one more close pre-on, he would have gotten a triple kill, actually.
yeah, I think that would be very likely. I mean, that was just scary as hell. We do have the fortification being forced out. The Exorcism is already ended because it was still level 1, and they finally get themselves a tower, but G goes in. They know there's a Vendetta. The sentry ward goes on. G is gonna get stunned soon. At least he'll be able to help. At least kill off Enlight. Nope. Enlight lives. Tower dies. Nyx Assassin dies. That is 2 kills and a tower for Flipside, and they really needed something like that as Abaddon sitting in the jungle. They know he's somewhere there. Yep. Hello.
Oh no.
Hello. There's no silence up on Blow Your Brain. That's kind of troublesome. And actually, Illidan coming in. Allow everybody to TP out with the stun coming off from the Alchemist. Run, Forest. Crystal Maiden. Does have dust, but it's not going to find the Klinks anymore. Might be able to find the Alchemist. No, it's just going to farm jungles. We haven't seen the Crystal Maiden all that much, I have to say. I mean, she's been involved in 2 kills, but she's been jungling. She's level 8. She's got a Hand of Midas. And this is actually the start of a very scary Crystal Maiden, as I believe most of people have seen how fat a Crystal Maiden can get.
Yeah, Arsad's just farming away, and really, he hasn't had to do a lot. Bristleback is doing a lot of work down this bottom lane. Weaver is starting to get a fair amount of farm up in the top lane. He's 2nd in net worth now. Like,
ooh.
He doesn't need to make risks.
Blink Dagger on G. The dust still comes out, but they didn't hit him with the stun. So Klinks is going to be fine. The Hex up on G as well, but no follow-up, no shackle.
Did it look like G hesitated on the stun there?
Yes, I feel like he cancelled it once and then went for it, but it's...
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he still got the Alchemist. I guess he didn't know that Alchemist was there. Was gonna try to go for a double stun, then he couldn't get it. Illidan does take a tower by himself, by the way, and of course the top tier 1 tower on the side of Flipside goes down as well. Light of Heaven getting himself away from the lane. That will allow, Flipside to take down their second tower. Alchemist stun actually coming in. Want to go for the bristleback, but just to harass. They'll just want to have the tower. Perhaps there's going to be a deny though. Nope, no deny. Nice attempt. Teleport in. This is the Nyx Assassin with the Blink Dagger. Blinks forward. Gets hexed up the moment that he does. Alchemist charging up his stun. Looking to land it. Up on Illidan perhaps. Throw it out. There you go. But it's too late. Shadow Shaman is already dead. And right now he is frostbitten and taken down by Light of Heaven and Illidan. There's no way he's going to live through that one. Double kill for Illidan as... Yeah. Run. Klinks. What are you doing, buddy? You've already taken down the Crystal Maiden. Can you also take down another one? Hook shot. Locks in the Baden. In comes in a nice impale though, up on 2. Kills off the Clockwork. Wants to go for the Klinks. He should be invisible again in 6 seconds. But if he gonna survive those 6 seconds, I doubt it. Blow Your Brain teleports himself out. That's lucky for him. But that was not the fight that Flipside was looking for. They did get the tower, but they only got supports and lost their Klinks, which is not really the greatest one to lose at this point.
Yeah, then they gave away that Klinks to kill off the Abaddon there. They could have just disengaged. Klinks would have been able to get away just fine. But they end up giving away Clockwork and Klinks for Abaddon after basically the fight was already over. It was a little bit of a strange play. They thought maybe they'd be safer, but they've taken a lot of damage. And I think it's actually kind of interesting to note they don't have a great way of killing Bristleback.
Yeah,
he went for that Vanguard, and most of their way of killing him is just like right clicks.
And minus armor from the medallion and the acid spray, but because of that he was going for an assault cuirass. So yeah, he is going to be really tough to kill. They need some kind of physical damage, so they need the Klinks to be really fat and be able to take that, but it's going to be a while before he has that. He finally has got his Hand of Midas, so that's nice for him, but I mean, he's first going to have an Orchid, and only then is he going to be able to buy. Maybe still he wants to have a BKB, so it's going to be taking a while before they can actually burst him down with anything else than attempted spells. And they don't really have that enough burst anymore at that point. Look where G is, by the way. Looks like he was on the wrong side, otherwise he might have been able to get the courier.
He really hates that baby Roshan.
Yeah, he does. Ooh, Illidan next up. They're gonna try for it, but why? Why, I ask? The wards go down from the Shadow Shaman, and like Stalking Cogs has got his Blade Mail, but it doesn't really matter all that much. G comes in, Spike Carapace as well, helping out. Stuns up Enlight with his own Battery Assault, and that's going to be Clockwork dead. Looking for more, but it is the axis that it's on and forcing VirtusPro back. Should be enough to force them away far enough. Don't think they're going to be able to go in for a tower now, though, which is something that they probably would have wanted. Ooh, Alchemist stunned up together with Boic. And G will still get stunned, though. Ooh, whoa, with that minus armor, he walked into the acid spray. That is painful and deadly, apparently so. Crystal Main dropped as well. Blow Your Brain, able to make that happen. In the meantime, Bristleback still alive, of course. Right next to his sentry ward is the Klinks. Goes for Strafe. Goes for Bristleback. He can't do this, though. He can't. He shouldn't. Run. He's got already 5 stacks of the quills. You have to run then. You can't really stay around longer. It looks like Shadow Shaman is going to be finding that effect. Nice pick off, and the shields, of course, coming off from Medved all the time. In the end, Flipside is just a bit scrambling around. They got some nice kills, but they lost more than they gained, I find, especially with the amount of ultis that they used. Didn't even get the tower.
Yeah, it was a really long, extended fight, and it's hard to say who really came out on top, but Illidan survives the whole way and manages to stall up the push from Flipside once again, so I would say it's probably a little bit favoring VP there. And again, we're just showing it's so hard for them to kill this Bristleback.
Yeah. And they initiated on him, like he was the one they went for. They threw everything on him and he just walked right out of there. Of course, help of Abaddon. Akanto contributed to a Bristleback, but Abaddon definitely played a role. He stayed alive the entire thing as well. But yeah, I mean, the rest died. Crystal Maiden got picked off. Next Assassin died. I guess that the Weaver did not die, though. Nope, he did not. The only time he died was the one that he was on, it was the first blood on top. Incoming. Looks like they want to go again, though. At least VirtusPro does. Illidan already walking forward, getting hexed up. Usually we'll throw out a stun, but we'll throw it out on the Abaddon this time, who actually popped his burrow time just for that. And that's Alchemist already forced out. Shadow Shaman already dead. Illidan is still standing strong, and it looks like he'll be able to get another kill. That's a double kill right there. And there goes the clockwork. This is a bristleback that is the worst nightmare of any team that doesn't have enough physical damage to take him down straight away, or enough magical burst damage to take him down. This is Blow Your Brain hoping that his spirits will come to him to heal him up before he dies, but no such luck. That's 4 dead. And I mean, they didn't even... Never mind. He just ran in there and he just stood there, pressed his W and just won the game. Well, won the fight.
In the meantime, Clinks was able to kill off Weaver in the top lane. He did finish the Orchid, but
okay.
Yeah, Illidan's just walking around demolishing the rest of this flipside team.
Nice deny. Oh, it might cost Clinks his life though. Yep. Next assassin with the kill, blinks forward, goes for an impale, finds himself Blow Your Brain. Mana Burn is there as well. Alchemist looking to make a change there. He gets stunned up by his own stun. Cogs actually don't really help him. He gets slowed. He's fine for now. There's no hook shot yet for the clockwork for another 9 seconds. But he's not gonna go for it. But I mean, this is... If VirtusPro groups up right now, when they even have the Weaver there, when Weaver has his Lincolns, let's just put it that way. I feel like they can just continue pushing up. They can, like, what's gonna stop them? Just keep pressing your W button and you win. They don't even have a mechanism yet.
Well, there's a lot of damage that can come out. He has to be somewhat careful, especially when the exorcism is going on. That does pretty good damage to him.
That is true.
But yeah, he's real tanky, and he's just running around the middle of the fight being an absolute nuisance, doing a ton of damage. And like the flip side supports are just getting massacred by him, like 3 or 4 hits with some quills, and they're dead.
Invisibility.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. And I mean, he is already sitting on 2,900 gold again. And even though he died 3 times, I mean, they tried to shut him down. He is so far ahead compared to the Clinks, which of course is also due to the courier dying and him not having his Adamitas for a while. But regardless, even if he had that, he wouldn't be on par on where Illidan is right now. And this is starting to get more and more scary. This is... How are they gonna fight this? Is it just gonna be on the back of the Clinks? Because normally you'd find Clinks trying to hunt for kills right now. And even though he was just able to kill off the Weaver... He can't kill off the bristleback right now, and it's just... How are they gonna get back from this?
It's looking like it's going to be real difficult for them. They need to basically just take a really big team fight. And I think the ideal is where they don't actually initiate on bristleback. They have to just try and kill everyone else off and then focus him down. But VP have no real reason to allow for that sort of fight to occur. Bristleback can just always stand at the front now.
Yeah, just run at things, run at towers. He's going for a heart next, well, why not? In the meantime, the cogs have been placed. Flipside tried to go for a bit of an initiation, can't really find it though. Have to back out again, I mean, they're, after all, not in their jungle. And Illidan already shows his face. All you can do is run away from that guy. Nice nice smoke for Buick to run a bit extra fast, that's gonna help him get out. Especially with the Nyx Assassin Vendetta chasing him down as well. They will be able to find, or at least see Enlight and Blow Your Brain, but they won't really go in on it. It's too risky. Yes, even for Bristleback at this point in the game, things can still be risky.
We're talking about it like he's unkillable, but he can die if he does something silly. It's just real hard at this point. He's very tanky, and Flipside are falling behind in terms of levels. It's gonna be kind of tough.
Ooh, nice hook shot. Gets himself in there with the Nyx Assassin, but Nyx Assassin has a 4-staff. Jumps himself out. And Illidan, ha! Showing his face, Impale will stop the teleport, even though I don't think it was needed. The damage was enough. Bristleback is hitting like a monster truck. Blow Your Brain, his Bloodstone is ready, but I don't know what he can do with it. All the tier 1 towers are already dead. Ooh, nice shackle up on Light of Heaven. There comes the stun as well as the arrows, but the time lapse will still be there. Silent stop, but too late. The Shikushi away is already there, and Alchemist will end up stunning himself. Light of Heaven is just fine. He can get himself away from there. In the meantime, tier 1 tower, or tier 2 even, drops bottom, and yeah, why would Illidan back off? Just go for the tier 3, see how far you get.
He does quite a bit of damage. He's just sitting there tanking up a tower.
Yep,
these guys are
taking up
dying
the tower,
to it.
taking up the Hex, taking up the Alchemist stun, standing in the minus armor. He doesn't care. Still got 11 armor.
He almost has a heart gun now, too.
Yep. I mean, look at that. He did not say that he fought apart from his lacking mana bar, and he'll get healed that up like real fast because they've got themselves a level 4 arcane aura. And exorcism was used for that one, so no more pushes for a while. I mean, they did nice with pushing out all the tier 1 towers. I really liked that one, but it didn't give them the edge that they needed to have. And they needed to be ahead by the 20-minute mark. Just, you know, push down all the outer towers. That's what you do when you have a push in lineup, and then move on from there. But they never even got that advantage. The bristleback pick was a brilliant one, and it was picked up fairly early, right?
Yeah, it was like second picked by VP. This isn't a surprise pickup or anything. Flipside had the entire draft to look at that bristleback and say, how are we going to kill this guy? And it feels like they really didn't.
Maybe they felt like they would get ahead enough with the towers that they were expecting to kill, but it's not going to happen. I mean, we haven't seen even Weaver all that much this game. He's been involved in 5 kills, died twice, but he's got a Lincoln's, he's got 1400 gold, he's still sitting second highest on net worth. Above anybody else on Flipside. Flipside who still only have that Klinks. Klinks who's going for apparently well, I'm hoping that it's gonna turn into a BKB. Oh, we have a fight going on right now. Cogs are already there, but it's gonna be Alchemist, it's gonna be dead here first. Tries to run from Illidan, but it's not gonna happen. Crystal Main, forced back, Mechanism will keep him up. Shackle on Illidan. Can they do the damage? They might be able to. It looks like they might be. Yes, they are! Enlight living through all of that. Again, one hit away from the W and he would have died. Bristleback does buy back though, and he will be able to be back here on this fight real fast. Arsart running for his life. Looks like that Klinks is gonna make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. You can't run when you're dead. Let's see if he can get him. 1, 2, 3, and the soul burn should be enough from this one. No! Never mind. 4. There we go. Clockwork still goes down to the next assassin, so that means that VirtusPro does get an extra kill there. But they lost their Bristleback. He is killable, Rejoice, and he actually bought back. And was a bit of a... Like, they're gonna go again. They kind of need to, otherwise it was a bit of a rage buyback, or at least a buyback that doesn't really do anything. How far do you
gets them this tier 2 tower.
Yeah. Are they gonna try to continue on though? That's the question. If Illidan dies again, he's already silenced up. The stun lands on Evidon instead. He still has a borrowed time though. Nice impale. Up on 2. 1 already dead. Looking for more. Alchemist running for his life. And it's gonna be the... Whoa, Klinks. Can he run? No, he can't. One more hit. Blink. Hit. G gets the kill. Everybody silenced up in the meantime. They still go for the Alchemist, but... You know, his chemical rage will keep him safe. Lucky support. Klinks is forced to buy back to defend his tier 3. VirtusPro, I think they're gonna finally back off then. They could go for Roshan after all. I mean, why not? What's Flipside gonna do?
They took the tier 2 tower. They're gonna go for Shank Roche now. It's pretty standard. You take the tier 2 mid and move to the Roche pit. Flipside are gonna try to defend this, and they kind of feel like they have to, but yeah, they're not even fast enough to do anything.
Oh, and G coming in from the back. Alchemist ending up stunning himself, perhaps? No. Gets it up on G, but Spy Carapace is there. Well, the Death Prophet is already dead. And this is Illidan just mashing everybody down. I wouldn't be surprised to see GG call up any minute right now, because this Klinks, he is not gonna carry this team anymore. If I had a head, I would eat it if they did. And that's another Frostbite. Another kill! This one goes to G. That's also a kill for G. That means only Klinks is left alive. And this is just a massacre. It went from bad to worse. And this Bristleback, I mean... If I would ask you after this game, outpicked or outdrafted, would you say outdrafted? Because of the Bristleback?
Yeah, the draft is
outpicked or outplayed, sorry.
Right?
Yeah,
it definitely feels outpicked. The Bristleback, they don't have really a good way of killing him. They went for this like pseudo push lineup with Death Prophet, Klinks, Shadow Shaman, but their lanes weren't very strong. And you kind of have to have strong lanes to actually transition to those pushes. If you come behind really far in that very early game, it's hard to transition to a mid-game push.
Yeah. It is. Let's see, Alchemist joining the fight again. Looks like they haven't given up just yet. Light of Heaven with the Desolator coming into the fight. And Light, the one to get the Blade Mill off, might be enough. Nice ward trap on the Illidan. Perhaps that's enough. But the wards get killed off by the Weaver. Illidan, he has a heart. Oh my god, he lives. Why not? His quills still quilling, still spraying. And that is gonna be a stun, Illidan! That's an Aegis. Still though. Ben, I guess he didn't get found out. It didn't, like, there can be a shield again. Up. And they can just run in again, why not? Well, they are fighting 3 on 5. I guess that would be a good reason not to go in.
Yeah, I mean, they could just back off. They've
Yeah.
taken the lane of Rags. They don't really need to do anything at this point. They're so far ahead.
They are.
They could back off, farm, regroup, and then go for it.
Yeah, waiting for the 2 supports to get back up line. Well, support G actually died. It wasn't the support. He did pick up a Dagon now. And that means that the squishy heroes are going to be more squishy than they already were. They find themselves one hero that should not be squishy. And for some reason still has 6 charges on her Bloodstone, but Clockwork is going to die instead. So that's a nice saving action, meaning that Blow Your Brain will live to see another day. Blow Your Brain, the one that was supposed to be pushing all the towers down, can't do it. Still highest farmed hero on the side of Flipside, but what does that say at this point?
Yeah,
No.
it's like the farm doesn't really even matter that much at this point.
Yeah.
They have 2 heroes that are 6k ahead of that Death Prophet. They're just getting picked off. Bristleback's diving tier 4s, killing people, tanking them up.
Yeah, still has the Activism on him. Might be doing enough. Arsart actually taking quite a beating from that, but he gets shield, so he is fine. Another Impale comes out up on 2 again. These Impales from G has been on point. Well, most of them have been. I have to say there's also been some questionable ones, as we do have, looks like the cleanup crew at work, though G just runs himself back into cogs. Shouldn't really happen. Light of Heaven gets shielded up, runs away. Invisible, and that's enough. Goes in for Clockwork. Now only 1 hero left alive. It is Blow Your Brain. He'll try to make it back to base, but he gets chased down by Illidan. Nice creep blocking him, actually. Actually nice for a flip side, but it doesn't matter. The Frostbite is still there. He comes to Freezing Field. Silenced up instantly, but it doesn't matter. They're just diving fountains for this one. Suicided. Denied. Denied. Still, though, if anybody was worried about Flipside making a comeback, don't be. VirtusPro take this game in convincing fashion, courtesy of Bristleback, I have to say. And also, Flipside just not really knowing how to deal with it. Already shown that in the draft. So, we're going to be jumping ourselves to the second game of this evening, which will be Aspera taking on Next KZ. That means that we're going to see the unbeaten Next KZ. So far, they've got 6 games, all 6 games won. And they'll be going up against Aspera, who, well, we'll see soon how many games they've actually won. They didn't win everything, so we'll just jump ourselves into the next game. We'll start in about 10 minutes time, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more StarLadder.